I just tried the shift and the calendar. So, is there a place like in EBS you can see the whole a calendar view in which it shows what are the working days and non-working days and so on? I didn't see such a presentation here.
Yeah, I haven't seen such a page either, so I don't think there is one.
That would help us to verify what we did, because I put in like the length is 7 days, but I put in only 1 to 5, day 1 to 5. So wondering whether that was correct or not.
Okay, in the work pattern. So normally the system throws an error if something is not allowed. The system itself, then and there, it will. Yeah.
Okay. So that's okay, right? So if you take the length as 7 days, but put in only 5 days in the say 1 to 5.
You know why I remember that the system used to throw an error and we used to go and correct our length of days to 5 days. So I'm wondering how come you didn't get a message. I remember I was used to get such messages.
Other calendars also which says length of the calendar is 7 days, but I put in only 1 to 5.
Ah, okay.
I see others also there.
So maybe they've removed that validation. It's possible.
I think, let me check. I think Rao is having trouble. Is he on the call? He's saying he has probably trouble in the voice. He just sent me a message. Let me just.
Yeah, I just saw the message in chat. So I'm trying to figure out what issue he's having so that we can help him.
Yeah. Let me call him.
Okay.
You can hear me clearly, right?
Yeah, I can hear you clearly. Though you're quite, the volume is quite low than yesterday, but that's okay.
Because I just used a headset. That's fine. Okay,
Okay, but
headset. I don't need.
But it's pretty clear. There's no complaint. It's pretty clear. Yeah.
Okay. Let me see what you're saying. Hold on. Hey, what's happening? You're not able to connect? So what's happening to the audio? I got connected all right. If you click on the left in that window of start meeting, did you click on the bottom left which shows the telephone? Yeah. And then what happens? Yeah, you picked that, right? And it didn't happen?
Hello?
Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah, now I can hear her actually. Yeah.
You can hear. Okay.
Hi, Deepti.
Hi, Rao. Good morning.
Yeah. Good morning. It was difficult for last 5 minutes. I'm struggling to connect to audio actually. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So until I click on that camera, what is that called? That camera signal, I didn't get connected.
Yeah, after you log in to start meeting, there's that phone symbol that you click on the phone to connect to the VoIP call.
Yeah, I did that, but still it didn't get connected. Then finally what I did is I just clicked on the start video, then it connected.
But video, you are having a separate video of your own? You should have.
No.
Actually.
No.
No. See the video. I just clicked on video and it looks like it creates your own copy of the video. Maybe if you do that. Maybe connect the video and see just the video.
So first I want to know if you guys had some time to do the hands-on practice yesterday and if you have some follow-up questions or concerns from that.
Sure, we did actually, yeah.
Also, I don't have security console, so I could not go to the user and add any.
Really, I think yesterday, right after the call, I gave everyone the security console access. Do you want to check again once now?
Well, I checked this morning just now only, short time back.
So you don't
Click
see
on
the
tools.
tools
I click
menu?
on tools, and then I don't see security. Under tools, I don't see that.
Ah.
So probably it's probably.
Do you, and yours was the trainee user, which number?
SCM03.
03. Okay, I'll check on that.
So 02 is Sheikh, okay.
Okay, any other questions or concerns?
Yeah, we have some.
Sure. Should we take that first?
Yes.
Okay, please tell me.
So, Deepthi, we have captured few questions for you. Just a minute, I'm opening the document.
Yeah, first thing is we couldn't give the data access to my responsibilities. And another thing we found is major issues is we couldn't find certain responsibilities of order management and so can you go to the user training 001, SCM 001, please?
Okay, just give me a minute, I'll just go there. But yeah, order management, because I didn't give you the roles, right? So you will not see those unless you grant yourself the roles. And that was what we discussed, that you could do yourself, just give yourself certain roles.
The problem is we couldn't find anything.
You couldn't find the roles, okay, sorry. I thought you couldn't find the application. Like you couldn't find the responsibility. Okay, I'll help you with that. No problem. So
We in the search criteria, we put OM, percentage, order percentage. We did not see anything.
is it? Okay, I'm going to show you. I'll do to the 01 user right away. And Dilip, to your user, the role was missing. I've just now given you this IT security manager. This IT security manager is the one which gives you access to the security console. Okay?
Okay.
And now we'll see the trainee user 01.
Yeah.
So you come here, you click on edit. And then we click on add role. And here you can search as order. So here see order manager, order administrator. These are the roles that you need to give if you want to have access to order management.
Can I put me to order manager, please, if you don't mind? Yeah. Just
okay. And also
yeah. And role membership. What happened? Is it assigned?
Yeah. I'm also giving you order entry specialist, which kind of just enters the orders
How
in
about
the
pricing?
order management screen. Yeah, you can give yourself the pricing roles also.
Edit and then do pricing, am I right? That's it.
I just gave you the order manager role for now.
Sure.
You, in the same process, you can give yourself, you can come here and search and give yourself the role.
Got it. Yeah, and then we couldn't, yesterday we took the operator role, supervisor role, production supervisor role, and tried to give the data access to the created organization. We couldn't. We saved it, but we couldn't find that.
Do you want to, should I make you the presenter? Do you want to share your screen to show what you did? In that way, we can know if you were making an incorrect action, because now if I show you my screen, it'll work.
Yeah.
And so I'll just make you the presenter. And now you can share your screen to show me what you were trying, like what steps you were doing, and then I'll correct you. Do you have the, you should see a pop-up on your screen which says you're the presenter and you can share your screen.
Correct, but I'm clicking on the button start sharing. It's not working.
Okay, just give it a minute. Should I stop sharing first?
Yeah, and again reshare actually.
Okay, I just stopped sharing. Oh, it says that you have declined to be the presenter. I'm just going to try again.
No.
Oh, I'm no longer the presenter. So, we had the
Yeah.
training group.
Yesterday's issue will turn up. Because you're not the host, right?
Yeah. So, they host the meeting, and
Actually, we
then
went to Apps to Fusion training user for host, yeah.
yeah, they're always the host, and somebody from their team is mostly present in from the training team is present in the call. I can give them a call and get this. Okay, I got it. So I am now the presenter, and now I'm going to make you the presenter.
I'm the presenter now.
1 minute, and now you should be the presenter. So did you get that presenting thing?
Yeah, I'm getting it, but I'm unable to.
Because we are still seeing your screen, no?
But once he accepts the presenter role, you will stop seeing my screen and you'll be seeing his screen.
Tarakeshwar Rao, we can see your screen.
Okay, now you're the presenter. So can you, share your screen now? Great.
Will I
Now
share?
we're able to see. Yes, we are able to see your screen.
Okay. Okay, I need to log in first. Sorry. That think somewhere sorry. Is it the one? No. No, it's not taking it, right? Let me do one other way. Not working.
Could you open the application?
I'm trying to do that, but it is copy. It is giving me protocol problem.
Can you just, in the URL, could you, in this green pop-up like thing, could you hear? Now just up till welcome. After welcome, just put the fuse welcome, put a question mark, and everything after that, can you please remove and just put a question mark there. Yeah, just hit enter.
Good.
So there I get the security console.
Now, for data access, you have to go to the setup and maintenance, and then you have to do the manage data access.
Manage.
Yeah, so first go to your respected component, yeah, this one.
Then
Just in the search, just search with man. Okay, you could just go to facilities and required tasks too. That's also one option.
Yeah, that's what we did it, we follow the
facilities and then
yeah, this one, the last one.
this one.
Yeah. Is this where you went yesterday too?
I think Basha, we went to the Security Council directly, I guess, yeah. Yeah, I think we went here in the same organization. Okay, so
Okay.
I saved it also. Okay. SCM, product data steward, inventory manager, am I right? So let us add one thing called it is training dot CM01. The role is would be production operator,
Production supervisor.
production supervisor. Operator, supervisor is not there.
Which means we already added that.
No, supervisor is there. Supervisor is there.
Okay, search one more time.
Supervisor.
Yeah.
Context is manufacturing plant.
Exactly. So we have TR underscore, right?
No result found.
Okay, and you're saying this org is created and is it marked as a manufacturing plant?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise, like put test demo. That's what is working, right?
Yeah. Test org, test underscore org, the first one.
Yeah, you can take that one also.
Save and no. Let us do one more copy. Then you said test demo, am I right? Demo.
No, that was beginning with the word demo.
Demo underscore. That's a demo underscore. Yeah. Save it.
Let me see. Third one is TR percentage. No result found.
So I guess your org did not create or did not save or something.
Can you just check TR plant if possible?
Okay. Okay.
TR plant or something we gave it.
We did TR underscore only, Rahul.
A record with combination of this value already exists. See, already we did.
So you gave yourself access to one of these values. That's what it means.
So, but we couldn't find it though. Yeah, can you even TR also we did yesterday, right?
Okay, I just opened your organization TR underscore plant. It's not marked as a manufacturing plant. So that's why, you know, in the security context, when you're giving a manufacturing plant, like if you see this, the previous column, manufacturing plant is the security context. Your organization is not marked as a manufacturing plant. That's why it does not appear in the result over there.
Okay.
So if you just go and mark your organization as the manufacturing plant, it will start appearing in the list here.
Okay, so can you please do that, Mark, please? I think we know where you're talking, what you're talking about here.
Okay, so I'll do it because I'm already on that screen.
Yeah.
Okay, please try now.
Training dot then role is production supervisor. Why is there any way the short list of only manufacturing plant came? I think for some of the things I'm getting a big list of things here, context.
So what Oracle is doing is for every role, it's trying to filter the security context so that people are aware of what relevant context should they be giving access to. So otherwise many roles are very confusing and you're not sure what to give.
Got it. So
this was not there in the earlier release, but it started appearing later.
Okay, this TR still I didn't get it.
Could you just do in the search? Could you click on that right side drop down arrow and then hit on search and try once? So just scroll to the bottom, you'll have a search hyperlink. Yes, keep scrolling. Just scroll to the bottom of the that search. Just click on that. It'll open a new window where you can search. Yeah, it's okay. There you go.
Oh, TR plant. Oh, is it this problem is common or what?
So it won't show up in the, if you just type it in.
No,
Yeah.
it will. It will. I guess it was just like a refresh problem because we saved the entity right now, but your window was already open. You know, like a refresh.
Okay, so the
Where
list was
did
already
you
drawn up.
refresh this? Where did you refresh the screen?
I didn't refresh anything. I just saved it as a plant, but I'm saying your the window to give you the window where you give access was already open. So sometimes there's like a refresh where it's not instantly looking at the saved data because
Yeah, it's not pulling out the latest list of values.
right,
Yeah,
the list of values is already there in the window that you have populated.
Not that actually. Can you answer my question? Now I added the record. I'm supposed to see that here. Am I right?
So on the top left side, if you see, your search criteria, filter criteria is on users without data access. So if you could click on the next radio button, users with data access, you'll have to type your username once again and then hit on search. You will see the record that you have just put in.
Okay. So username is dot cm. Role is also required
No.
No need.
because I see stars here. That's why.
Oh, okay. Now,
No, I didn't get it. TR. Where is my TR?
here will take
Your top, even the security context is set to inventory org. Do you want to change it to manufacturing plant or just all, any of them is okay? Just change it to manufacturing plant.
Okay.
Yeah, so these are the filter criteria for the search results. So based on that, your search is changing.
Then dot cm01 and search. Okay. Now
Good.
we know the problem. Okay. I think yesterday we found this problem also.
No, yesterday our main mistake was we did not change the users with the data access.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did everything right, but that's a mistake.
correct. That's what I was mentioning. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay. By role also we can do. If I have multiple things, I can put it by role also, right? Filter by role.
Yeah, if you have any particular role that you want to look at, you can type that role in there and search. So again, this is also like a standard. In any search page, like today we'll see a lot of pages and lot of search pages. Wherever you see this double star, the double star indicates that one of these criteria is mandatory to enter for you to search. So here you have double star either in username and role. So it means you have to either enter the username or the role in order to perform this search. If there is just one star, it means one of those values are mandatory. Like wherever there's a single star, it means that value is mandatory to enter. But the double star indicates one of the double star values is mandatory.
Oh, okay.
So I think we had this problems and in the security, what is the assignable checkbox in the Security Council? So
that is all for role provisioning and all that we do in the HR module. When you do your role provisioning, it's used over there.
Okay. So here, okay.
Okay, that's the next question, Deepti. Thank you.
What other questions you have written down yesterday, Sheikh?
Okay, so you answered what is assignable checkbox. You said that is for HR related, right?
Yes.
Okay. And the second question was, we are not able to find the OM and pricing roles you shown to us. That is also fine. After adding the production supervisor roles, we are not able to see. Okay, so you shown to us. Okay, the main question was, I think yesterday we are getting this warning, items automatically assigned to reference org. What does it mean?
Where are you getting that message?
I think, Rao, you remember in which screen we are getting this warning?
When we're saving the organization, that's where we got that, am I right?
Yeah. After creating the plant, TR_plant, we were saving and we configured that plant. And then when we are saying warning message we got.
Okay, right. Okay, I'll keep that as a question. I want to get back to you on that. Yesterday, yes, we did see that because we were selecting one of the reference orgs. I'm going to speak about it maybe tomorrow.
Yeah, I think there's a checkbox there. When you create an inventory org, you want to transfer all the items from the master org into that org. And if you have clicked that checkbox, then it sort of adds it automatically, all the items.
Right, that was the reference org.
Yeah, this is a new feature here. It's not in EVS.
Yes, makes sense. Okay, so when we create this plant, we have attached the item master already. So which means upon saving, it will transfer all the items, all the attributes of the previous like item master org.
Optionally, yeah. There's a checkbox if you want that or not.
Okay.
So it's automatically assigning all the items to the...
Yeah, if you check the checkbox, so be careful if you want that or you don't want that.
Okay, got it.
That's a very powerful step, I think.
Why do you think we shouldn't do it, Dilip? Typically, what...
all orgs will not. That a given org may not have all the items, right? You always selectively assign items to individual orgs, right?
Correct.
You don't assign all items to a given org.
This one will put it to all orgs?
No, it will assign all the items in the master org to this particular org. Now, normally we don't do that. So some cases you may want to do that, but very often you do not do that, right?
I think it is given reference org. Right?
Yes, that's what it's called, the reference org. Like I said, I'll speak about it later. I put that in my list of questions that we had even from yesterday, and I'll address them hopefully tomorrow.
Oh, which means tomorrow you will, you may speak about how to assign items manually. Is that something like that?
No, so today we are going to go over creating items and all, and we will see how to assign items to individual orgs. We are going to do all of that today. That's the agenda. So if you're done with your questions, I'll share the agenda for today. And
yeah, so one question, that security console I still did not get. I think you assigned it, right? But it's still not showing up.
Is it? Okay, 1 minute, I'll take a look.
Should I hand over back to you, Dipti?
Yeah, sure.
How to do that?
So in the chat on the top, you can see an icon where there are people, there's some people heads, right? Yeah, I got your.
Retrieve latest. What is that?
So this is to sync the roles that we have given to the security console into the application. And typically this is always scheduled in any instance, and we don't really require to run it manually. Like yesterday I didn't run this, but
Oh, okay.
to everybody else whom I gave the
So
security console, they got the access.
at what interval is it scheduled?
In this instance, I am really not aware on what instance, what
Yeah.
interval and all is scheduled. Like I said, this is a training instance, right? People keep making
Right.
changes very frequently. So, but yeah, typically it's always scheduled, and you don't always have to run it. But sometimes if you're like really wanting to use the feature right away, you might want to run it too.
How did you run this? From what is the navigation for this?
I'll show you. Whenever we have other scheduled jobs or something, I'll show you that. We'll cover that during our session.
Okay.
Okay, I'll let this complete, and if you
Yeah,
still
okay,
don't
we'll
get
check later.
access,
That's fine. We can check
yeah.
later.
By towards the end or in the middle of the session, if you don't have access, we'll check on this again.
Right. Okay, I'll check it later and let you know.
Sure, thanks. So this is my agenda for day 2. This is my agenda. So we had some spillover activities which I had actually planned for yesterday, but that's okay. If we plan to cover it today. And then our agenda for today would be the essential setups which are in manufacturing area. So we define our work areas, work center, resources, the work definitions. We will also see how to create work definitions in Excel. We will create a standard operation, and we will also see how we can automatically create work definitions for some items, and how we can sync changes if after the work definitions are created, if you have changes in the item structure. But before we get into this, we will just briefly touch upon, like you've all created your plants. We will set up the plant parameters and the plant profile options, and also one more thing is the descriptive flex fields. So I'll show you these 3 pages, and then we will see how we will create item and item structures. So once our item and item structures are created, we will use that item and item structure when we create our work definitions. Okay. I also like to go over the refresher. So yesterday we had an overview on the Oracle Manufacturing Cloud and how it is placed in the Oracle Supply Chain Cloud and its interactions with various modules in the Oracle Supply Chain Cloud. We went over the key business flows which involve manufacturing. We had an overview of the Fusion application, how it's designed. We saw the setup and maintenance, which is called Functional Setup Manager, FSM. We saw the security console, where you can give roles, and every time you give a role, you have to come and give the data access. So we saw how do we give data access to every role that you've assigned. We also saw how to create a calendar. To create a calendar, we need the shifts, we need the work pattern, and then the schedule or the calendar. And we set up our own organization, and we use the calendar there. And so today in this lesson, our objective is that you create your item structures, you create work areas and work definitions. So by the end of today, we will have everything ready that you would need to create your work orders on, because we have created our plant, we've created the org, set it up as plant, and the plant parameters and all that I will show you now will also part of setting up the plant. We will have created our work area, work center. We would have created resources and assigned them to the work center. And we would have created the items and work definitions. So this is what will be the objective for today. So this is our first thing. But before this, I would like to get into our yesterday's spillover. I will get into the application to show you the plant parameters. So again, plant parameters is like a setup task. So for setup, we will get into FSM. I'm in the right functional area, the manufacturing and supply chain material management. And over here, I could get into, I think, inventory management. Or I prefer searching because I wouldn't really know in which functional area the Oracle decides to put it. Like I said, it's near the functional area is not okay. So when it says manufacturing master data, it comes here, or I like to search it here. Manage plant. If I just give partially and hit on search, it pulls out. And like I said, this is just repetitive. If it's falling in two functional areas, it just lists that. So once you open the manage plant parameters, this is very much like what it is in EBS. You're just setting up the attributes of that organization. You're setting up your calendar, and here this is very new feature where Oracle is trying to build in the capabilities for process manufacturing. So here you can also enable this org to be both discrete and process manufacturing. This is coming in very latest release, and we are right now we are not even aware of how much process manufacturing capabilities is built in the Oracle Cloud. But we know it has been work in progress for quite some time. These are all pretty much self-explanatory, which is your default sub-inventory. So these default, the sub-inventory, the locator, the default completion sub-inventories, all these are the ones which will default on your work orders if it's not specified in your work definitions or while you're processing your work orders. So this is one section regarding work definitions. You can decide operation sequence, like the operations that you add to your work definition. You want it to begin with which sequence and increment by what number. You could even choose a 5 and increment it by 5. And this is the phantom operations inheritance. When there's a phantom item in your model structure and when you are inheriting the properties, do you want to inherit only the material or the material and resources to that operation? And these are all the work execution related. Like if you have a prefix that you like to use for your work orders, you could give it here. What would be the starting number? And all the default, again, values.
Can you tell me what is the default work method?
Where is the default work method?
On the right side, on the up.
Oh, this is for process manufacturing. So once you enable this, it tells you whether this plant is for discrete or process. Like I said, this is a very new section.
No, actually it is only one. It can have either one, am I right? Either process manufacturing or discrete.
So what I have read, like I said, this is a very, very new feature. And what I've read is, because I keep kind of reading about what's available in every release, what I've read is a plant can behave both as process and discrete is what is given in one of the notes. So I haven't had an opportunity to get deep into it and see what it is like, but that is what is given in the latest release notes from Oracle.
Actually, I don't think so. It can have both because both got different method of creating work orders and executing work orders.
That's very much possible. Let's see what Oracle has to offer.
I think that now we understood actually what is that happening is you have to enable one of that. Am I right? You cannot keep that blank. You have to enable either discrete or process manufacturing for it. Please enable discrete.
Like I said, that is what I understand, but I read in one of the notes that you could enable it as both. So anyways, if we because this is a very, very new capability and we don't even know how this capability is built in. So for now, I'm not even selecting this, and it's totally fine if you don't select that. Like whether you don't select this. No.
If you don't select that, then what it will follow?
It will follow the discrete because Oracle's capability so far has only been the discrete manufacturing. So it is, if you don't select this, the plant is going to behave like a discrete manufacturing plant.
Okay, that's not a mandatory step then.
It's not. And like I said, it's just a very, very brand new feature, just like I think this month, last month.
Another question is, what are the mandatory fields, what are non-mandatory fields in this? How do you identify? In Oracle, we used to have yellow versus white fields.
We have the star icon. This star against anything denotes that it's a mandatory field, and the rest all is optional. Whatever is not marked with a star is optional.
Okay.
So then the functional consultant can decide if you want to have a work order prefix or not. Okay. One more thing I want here for you to know is, suppose in your implementation you want to set up multiple orgs. So right now I'm in the test org. I can just hit on change org and it says your changes were not saved. Do you want to continue? I say okay. It means your changes are not going to be saved. And now, because I hit on change org, it's giving me the pop-up that which org do you want to go to. So I can go to the org that I had created yesterday. I think I had created demo. So demo_org. You can choose this org, and that's when it opens up the plant parameters. So here, if you see, this is the manage plant parameters for the organization demo org. And
Where
I
was
need to
the
set
change
it
org? Where was
Here,
the change
the-
org button?
top right, change org.
Top right. Okay.
And you can just change it to anything, like any
Yeah,
of the
okay.
organizations that you have access to.
Hmm.
So you might want to be the inventory manager for those organizations. Okay. Let me, there was just one small section on outside processing. So here, the outside processing, this is what we were even speaking about yesterday, right? That when is the purchase requisition placed? We can choose here whether you want the purchase requisition to be placed right when the work order is released, or do you want when the previous operation to the supplier operation is completed? When do you want the purchase requisition to go to your vendor, the
Same
vendor
as-
manufacturer?
Same as EBS, you can just go.
Yeah. This whole page is very much similar to what it is in EBS. Okay, so this is also one of the setups. It's kind of a mandatory setup for your manufacturing plant, because you need to associate the default sub-inventories and the calendars. Now we will look at the plant profiles. We'll quickly take a look at all the profile options that are present in the Oracle Cloud. So in the same manufacturing master data, I see this plant profile options. So I'm just going to click on this. So these are the 4 profile options that we have for now. This is like the resource class. We'll just open this. So this is just like here, it kind of even gives a description of what it identifies the unit of measure, represents a standard hour or time. So which is your standard unit of measure is what you can specify here. So at the site level, we are setting it to an hour. So it's also very similar to what it has been in EBS. How do you set your profile options at site level, at user level, and one more level? Okay, this profile option is available only at site. Then the default manufacturing plant. So here is where you can assign to your users or to your business users, which is the default plant, which should also always populate for them. So we just saw the change org feature, right? If you have certain business users who are responsible just for 1 or 2 orgs, or just who's responsible primarily for just 1 org, if you come here and set them as a default to that org, so every time you log in into manufacturing, that is the org which is going to appear as the default. So if there's some user who's kind of handling 3 plants, but his primary, like his key interest is to just monitor, say, plant 1, you can set it up here at the user level. So whenever he logs in, mostly this org will come up as the default.
Okay. So but how do you give the username here? Currently it is set at your site level, right? Set it at
No,
user.
here, if you see these are the user levels. So everything is the same. You click on plus and enter your record. So you decide user. The moment you enter user, the username field is activated, and here you can enter one of the users and enter the plant and save it.
So one user can have multiple?
I haven't tried that, but I'm sure it can. I haven't tried it.
Yeah, it doesn't make
So
sense.
that's a default. Should not allow more than one default.
Correct.
Yeah, so shouldn't, because I haven't tried it. So this is RCS default UOM service class. So here it specifies the default UOM for the service duration. So whatever the earlier we saw was the units for the UOM for your manufacturing in hours, the time, and this is for the service, where the default class is time, and that's why it's set over there as
What
hours.
do you mean by service?
The service duration, like when you're processing the items, how, like, it's a UM class. Like you have UM class of quantity, time. So what is the UM class that you're going to refer to?
Default UOM class.
Like we have all UM classes of different types, right? You could have a time duration, time class, which contains all hours and minutes and seconds.
So this will be used for the jobs?
Yes.
Okay.
What is the duration? Default service duration is the time?
Yes, time is the class. There is a UOM class. You have a unit of measure class. Like you have a time class and you have a quantity class, and then there's some more, right? That also comes under quantity. There's so many UM classes that we define. So the UM class can be set here.
What
And
is the
that
impact of this? I don't know what is the impact of this.
This refers to what UM class you have to define on your all your manufacturing applications.
For duration. Hours. Typically it is done in hours.
Yeah, class. Yeah, class has
Class
many
is the
units.
higher
Like,
level.
yeah.
Class is time, am I right?
Class is time, and class, within that class you may have hours, minutes, and so on.
Yeah.
So they are saying that the class is time. So that's almost always going to be the case.
Yeah, I don't know why they are given. In EBS we never do this. Okay. Okay.
Mostly it could be that it is given here for your process manufacturing if you want to have another class of like not specific to quantity as each. So once you set a class here, that's when the UOM can be set to differently. So this is just a profile option. This is not a mandatory thing. It's just that when you want to use those various profile options. This is controls whether to show or hide features which are not in the current release. Okay. For that also.
So, but it's not seeded, right? Because the class is not seeded, time is not seeded, right? So this also option will not have a seeded value, right?
The class is seeded. We have, I think, 4 seeded classes from Oracle. I just can't recall all the name. I can just recall.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we have 4 seeded UM classes provided. Okay. So this was just about the plant profiles. Now we'll get on to our.
What are the common features?
It just shows whether some feature is in released or unreleased status. So that's why, yeah, even this is provided as a profile option.
No, I didn't get it. Oh.
So Oracle keeps adding new features in every release. So it just shows you whether those features are there at your current release or not.
Where it will show?
I'll have to check this. I never paid attention to this profile option.
Yeah, actually, these are all things to the, I think, cloud, actually. I think new features.
Sorry?
This we didn't come across in EBS, so.
Yeah, this is very much cloud specific, yes.
But we need to understand though what, because definitely people will ask us. Is it if we don't, is it the mandatory profiles we need to set, or is it optional?
No, these profile options are not mandatory.
I mean, they already have seeded values, right?
Yeah, they have some seeded values, and if you don't require it, you don't need to come and set here or change anything here.
Then
which means we keep on reading those new release documents, then come here, whether it is relevant to our implementation or not, then based on that we need to use that, right?
I guess, like I told you, that I never pay. I can put this as a question that I'll get back what this profile option does.
Yes,
For
please.
some reason, I never paid attention to this profile option. Okay, I'm just making a note in my question list.
Actually, when you are showing us, please explain for each module what are the minimum required features we need to set it up. Mandatory. So
Yeah, the mandatory ones I'm anyways covering in detail, like I said, because this is just like showing some new features and all. I mean, sorry, my subconscious mind just ignored it. I'm absolutely sorry for that. But I've noted this in my list of questions and I'll cover it.
So these are all only profiles. Which are all mandatory in profiles? Can you tell us which are all mandatory?
No, none of the profile options are mandatory. You get certain seeded values from Oracle, but none of, like, it's not a mandatory setup for you to come here and set up the profile options.
Okay. This is optional.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. You also have this lookups, but because they are production lookups, I can cover this tomorrow. And we will also see the flex fields. So these are all the capabilities that you have.
I'm not knowledge work areas. Actually, I'm hearing these words in many places. I'm confused. So can you explain us what is work areas?
That is there in our session in the later half, but today, right after this, we are going to first be creating items, because that is also from our lessons from yesterday. And after we create the items, we set up our manufacturing related things. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm just searching for a flex field to show you the flex field. So because I don't know what the exact name is, you can just come and search as percentage flex field percentage. So it gives you the list. So I don't want an item flex field. I'm just taking a look at all the descriptive flex fields which are available.
Why don't you put descriptive flex field as a search word? That way we narrow down, right?
Yes. So I'm using this manage work setup descriptive flex field. So this is related to my setup for work. Like this is work execution, and my execution topics are for tomorrow. That's why I'm taking a look at the work setup related flex fields for today. This is all, like you all know, flex fields is to capture additional information, and then we can have additional information because see, none of these are mandatory. I'm just doing a blind search so that I can show you all the levels in which we can have flex fields defined. You can have flex fields that are standard operation, a standard operation resource, work area, work center, like at whatever level you want to define a flex field, you can come here and define.
So are you going to show us at least one flex field compilation in
no, I was not planning to, but maybe you can take this as an activity. In the activity also, I missed mentioning about the flex field, but I can add that. So just come here, choose any area, try to add a flex field here, and then deploy it at the end. So you can, this is the level where you have global flex fields. It's just like any flex field. It will ask you the value set, the type of the field. So you can just add at the global level for now because it's going to be much simpler.
So you're going to create that after once you save it, you need to run compile or something, or? Yeah,
I'm showing you that. So just add one flex field here at the global level, save and close, and then you have to come here and deploy it. That's it. So after you deploy, and if your deployment is successful, only then will your flex field be visible in that whichever area you have defined it.
So global flex field means it show up only in our module, or like how it works?
By global, the context, it's same like how it's in EBS. It's just the context. So if you're not giving it the context, it comes in the global context, but it'll come only in work areas. It's not going to go globally in any page, but it's exact the functionality as EBS. So things, at least they teach these little concepts which are exactly like EBS. I didn't plan to demo it because in the interest of time, but you're free to come and try this out, and if you have questions or if you're stuck, I'm more than happy to help you out.
Where is this context for flex fields?
In the same page. So when you choose your area and your So here, if you click on plus, you're just defining a global segment flex field. Else you can go to manage context, define a context. Here, define first a context and then define the flex field. So however, as a first step, I would advise you to just create a global flex field. And then once you're comfortable with the global flex field, when you start seeing your value, you could try and come and create within a context.
Where do you assign the context to the flex field?
No, so what you do is you just go to context, you create a context, and then inside the context you create your flex field.
Okay.
So you once just follow the flow of the screens,
Okay, got
and
it.
hopefully it will help you.
Got it. Thank you.
We can
So
play
it's
around.
exactly, yeah, and it is exactly the same like EBS, like absolute no difference. Okay, I think only this deploy button should be different.
Okay.
Okay. Now we are coming to our important topic of defining items and item structures. So items, as you know, is defined in the product model module, and within product model it has multiple modules in itself, and we are going to get into product information management. So to get there, you have to go into Navigator, because and this is the items which can be used in procurement, can be used in order management, everywhere. And here I will look for product management. Here I see product management. Within product management there are many sub-modules. I'm going to get into product information management. So this is like the page for product information management. Again, like I said, all Oracle pages on the right side have this task button. It's called the task panel.
Question.
Yes.
They said they're going to make available all these videos what we're recording. Yesterday they didn't send us the link. Can you ask them to send today, please?
Okay, sure. Today I'm told that they plan to share the PPT and the activities also with you. I have sent them the PPT and the activity. So I know those two is kind of on your way. And about the recording, I'll ask.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So once you get into product information management, go to your task menu, and this we are right now interested either in manage items or create items. Okay, manage items is after you've created the items if you want to search, and we can hit on create items. So I'll show you how a create item looks like. I have created certain set of items already, again in the interest of time, but in front of like today during the session we will build the structure. So the structure building, I wanted to have a demo, and that's the reason I didn't build the structure. But the create items, I've just created 5 to 7 items and I've parked it.
Do
So when
you have a picture or a slide? What is the item structure looks like? What you are going to do? That will give us good clarity.
I'm going to create the structure in front of you right now during the demo.
Yeah.
It's going to be a very simple structure. We are just going to keep it to 1 level, 2 level, in order not to complicate it much.
Okay.
So we'll create a structure for a standard item and for a configured item for a ATO model. So we'll see that. Okay, and I've also provided the same in your activities to do. So you will also be doing that with however you like. Okay. So now when we click on the create items, first thing we do is we choose the master org to which we want this item to go into. So here in the organizations, first choose your master org. So this has been our master org. Okay. And how many items you want to create, you can leave it as 1, and the item class. So for all our training, we can use the root item class. The root item class is the seeded class from Oracle, and if for your implementations you require, you can create item classes within the root item class. But otherwise, for all our purposes, the root item class is sufficient for us to use.
What is item class? What is the function of that?
Item class is just like a group of classes where you can have these templates for items. You can have defaulting parameters within the templates. You can define some security and like item number generation or approval. Like if you want a certain group of items, like you have certain chips that whenever you create these chips in the system, because they are high value, you want it to get into a item request flow, or if you want to get into approvals, you can group those items into an item class and send only those items for approvals. So, and you need not, you can decide not to send the other items which are, say, a panel. They're low valued items. We don't want a heavy tracking on it.
Is it a list of attributes, common attributes, or it will have per class and a process?
So per every class, you can have your own item templates, and based on the templates, you can have the defaulting attributes for each kind of item.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then based on your item class, you can also have your TIAs defined, the transactional item attributes, and similarly you can have approval request based on an item class. You can have an item to go into a complete lifecycle mode, and a new item like a request flow, and for certain items you can choose not to. So it's just like a classification.
It's a very, very key thing, item class, my opinion. In implementation, you define item classes first.
So you have this,
yeah.
you have this item class predefined from Oracle, which serves your purpose in most cases, but if required, you will have to create an item class.
Okay. Can you show us what are the seeded item classes, please, if you don't mind?
The seeded item class is only the root item class. The only root item classes come seeded, and all these templates, they come seeded from Oracle.
Oh, okay.
So within the root item class, you can see all these templates have come seeded with Oracle.
Now I got it. Okay.
Okay. So we can choose an ATO model, like when you create your item, if you're creating an ATO model or ATO item, or you're creating a finished good, just select this, move it to the right, that is your selection, and click on OK. So when you click on OK, it opens the page where you can give your item name, the description, the status, life cycle. So right now I'm just focusing on the mandatory parameters. Rest all we can keep playing around. Okay. Just enter your star ones, that is item, description.
Okay, that is kind of template in EBS, right?
Yes.
Yes. And all this is coming from the template. So in the template for finished goods, somebody has marked the item status to be mandatory. So that's the reason it's mandatory here. All this is coming from the template. Some templates or some item classes, you also say that you want the item number generation to be controlled. So you can have a prefix for an item number and then follow a sequence number, like you can have XX as a prefix. Okay. So all that can be done here, and then enter your all the star values. So basically you'll enter item, description, item status, this, and the UOM, and save your item. Okay. This is what you will do. I'm going to pull out an item which I've already done, and then we will go over.
Can you define one, please, if you don't mind? Just to define one item.
This is, I've already defined. I'm going to open the item that I have defined.
No, define some other, no, just define something else in a prepped one. You may not use it. It's okay.
No, it's the same parameters, Rao. I'm just going to show you. Just hold on. It's not going to complicate it. Don't worry. I'm going to show you the same page. I'm opening the exact same page so that we focus on the values that we need to see. We need to focus on the specifications. So this is exactly that I've entered. I just entered standard one. I entered this. These two I entered. I hit on each and I saved it. Okay. This is what, and once you save it, this is what your page is going to look like. So you just enter in the star, the ones which had the star. Do that. Save it. Now, this is an again.
In this, which template you took it?
I've taken right now the finished goods, but I've also created an item with an ATO model, which I am going to configure in front of you. I have just created like 7-8 items and kept it and I just saved it. I didn't do any other setup because I want to do that in front of you in this demo.
Yeah.
Okay?
So item type is finished good, but the item class is root item class you use.
Correct. The
Okay.
item type is coming from the template that I have used, and I defined it under the root item class. So for all our trainings, we are just going to stick to the root item class because we don't need any specific PIM configuration or a PIM implementation. We are not doing that here.
Okay, so one more question. So root item class, which gives you everything. So it will be like, basic class. So if you need any purchasable flags, order management flags, anything, so you better use the root item so that you will get everything and apply the type, whether it is a finished good or component or option class. That's how you need to define, right?
Basha, what I understood is root item class is kind of a holder, man, nothing else in that. Okay. Only thing is what she's applying our EBS. If you compare the templates under the root item class, you got all the templates, seeded templates on the left hand side. So she's applying the templates. She's only giving few values and then applying the template. Automatically attributes the top, just like me.
Yes,
Okay.
and like EBS, the template is only to default values, and we can all change it now, which I'm going to do now. So you can change any of the specification value, which I'm going to do now. Okay. So if your template is so perfect, you can just save it and don't come to specifications and set it at all. But I'm going to show you what it does. So I've just come to the specifications tab. Earlier we were in the overview where we set up the unit of measure. Now we have come to specifications. This is also very much similar to what it is in EBS. It's just that the UI is different. Okay. So under specifications, these are all the different areas where you can set the item specification. So if you want to mark it purchasable, logically I'll just go to the purchasing specification, and here whether it's purchased, yes, no, we can set it to yes, then change the purchasable is also yes. Our interest is manufacturing. We are going to come to manufacturing. As you can see the structure, this is a standard, and if it is built in WIP, yes, this is my key interest that all my items should be built in WIP, yes. If you have any,
if it is a key item, why it is not showing the mandatory?
What do you mean not showing the mandatory? I didn't get the
like,
question.
You should tell us the basic mandatory fields which we need
Basha. What she means is for work in process, this is the key attribute. That's what she says.
Awesome.
Yeah, I mean for our session, this is the key. Because we are doing a manufacturing session, I want all the items to be WIP enabled. If they are not enabled, manufacturing cannot access it. Okay. And I'm going to open other item where we'll see the item more attributes. And similarly, you can just go to every specification, like in inventory, whether it's an inventory item, stock. All this is exactly like how it is in EBS. So you could just spend some time on this, go over each of the specification areas. And
actually in manufacturing I see one thing, contract manufacturing enabled or something. Can you just see that? I think what it does for an item to be contract manufactured, I should put this right side attribute called contract manufacturing to yes.
Yes.
What it does?
It tells that this item is a contract manufacturable item, and then based on your sourcing rules, this can be sent to, and your work definitions, this can be sent to contract manufacturer to manufacture. If it is set as no, you can never send this to contract manufacturer for manufacturing. Yeah. Similarly for outside processing also, we have the purchasing. In purchasing, you'll have an outside processing center. Here, outside processing service, whether you set it to yes or no. Okay.
This is what yesterday I was telling you. Outside processing needs an item and an operation also. So this, I think this is what is an item. So
Yes, these are the prerequisites. We discussed this yesterday, that the item has to be enabled as contract manufacturer or as outside processing, and
This is what
then
the item you are going to get on the purchase order.
right. So these have to be even purchase enabled. If accidentally you miss marking it as purchase enabled, then it again does not place the POs.
Do you have a template for OSP item? Serial template?
Yes, yes, we have one.
Okay. Then automatically these things are checked, am I right? Purpose item.
Yes, yes.
Then
Okay.
I think it's good to know what are the templates are available. Can you go to the first definition and give us the list of seeded templates? I think that is very, very important.
So when we go to this create items, you will be able to see the whole list of all the templates that are there from Oracle. So just hit on create, and once you enter the item class, like I said, it's based on the item class, you can take a look at all the templates here. So just come here, enter the item class. And these are all the list of templates which are provided by Oracle. Or I mean, if some of them could be created by some training user also, I won't know. But they all look to be like the seeded. Like normally the training users, they create something like test or something, right?
Got it.
So if I wanted
Yeah.
to create my own template, we can, right?
Yes, we can, but typically we create a class, we create a new class under the root item class, and only there we create our own templates, or we create our own, number generation method or whatever we want, because root item class is the top level class which is used throughout the application.
Okay.
Okay, and like we were
So,
discussing about
yeah.
contract manufacturing templates, you have both for the service component and for the finished goods. You have the outside processing template for PTOs, ATOs, option classes. You have everything here.
So can you differentiate what is we got it from the Oracle and what is created by the user? Templates.
So if we go to the templates page, there it defines that whether it's a seeded template or not. It kind of clearly gives you whether it's provided by Oracle or provided by a user. It gives you that thing. But I think when we are using it here, I don't think here I can make out. And if you see all these templates, after even if I apply the template, now I can just get in and change any parameter. Like the built-in WIP came as yes in the template, I can still mark it as no and save it,
Okay.
So the template is just to default values.
It's same as EBS, man. I mean, Basha, same as EBS. Except it got reorganized and it got very less tabs.
Let me change it back to yes. So now we are going to, I'm just going to open the item that I created and the ATO model that I've created. So I'm going to show you one more ATO model. So to search for any item that is already there, we just click on manage items, and I created an ATO model with the name ATO. So ATO model. And here the key thing that you will notice is, okay, one second. I want to open in the master org so that there's no confusion.
You switch on?
No, I'll cover all of that. Hold on, okay? So here, the key thing to notice is, okay, the structure, it took the standard. The structure item type should actually be model. Maybe I didn't use the template. I was creating this late, but or somebody can even modify the template, right? The key thing for an ATO model is the structure item type is a model. This is the key thing. And we want it to be, and here see user item type has also come as ATO item. And if we want this as a configured item, we kind of put here that you want to create based on, like how do you create the config item? You want to create it based on the model. And the model type is again a standard. Whether you want to do the matching or you don't want to do the matching. The matching process, what I explained you yesterday, that also you can set up here, whether you want the matching to be done or not, and whether you want the configurations to be auto-created or not. So when the config item flow for matching, we said this is yes, that you want to do a standard match, and auto-create configurations as yes. Okay, so this is what it tells you, that this is an ATO item. This is the key, like very much like EBS. This is an assemble to order. The structure item type is a model. The built-in WIP flag is yes. Now, how do we build the BOM? Like how you say the bill of material. So in Oracle, here we do the build of material in this tab called structures. In Oracle, it is called like a structure, and we define a primary structure, and you can have alternate structures also. So let me open, and then if you want to have any attachments to this item, you can just go to attachments and have any word attachment, URL attachments. There are multiple type of attachments that you can have, Excel attachments.
Attachments at a structure header level or at what level?
No, this is at the item level. This attachment is at the item level. We are just seeing all the tabs within an item. If you see, right now we are in this item, the ATO model in the master org, and we are just going over each of the tabs over here. Basically, each of the the specifications for that item. This is again of our interest here, association. So once you create an item, you have to associate it to every org, right? So we come to the associations tab, and then you can click on this plus like icon. It's called select and add, or click on actions and do select and add, and assign the items to different orgs. So yesterday the org that I was creating was demo. Just select this and click apply. Okay, I don't have permission. So I guess I did not give myself roles to this org because I just created this org yesterday. I have not given myself sufficient roles and the data access basically to this org. But this is where you come and do. Just try and do this. If you're missing this, kind of go and check your data roles. Just ensure all the roles, like you had that search criteria on top where it showed data roles without data access, like security roles without data access. Just ensure for each of them you have given a data access. Then you will mostly not see this message.
But you are able to see it in the list of values, but you can't pick it.
Yeah, these are the strange things. Ideally, yes, you should not even have it in the list of values.
Yeah.
And then it clearly and even if you see, these are the, like I was telling you yesterday, that these are the, like if you see, this is the org ID. So typically if they are displaying an error message, this org ID we don't have access to, like we can't read the table's value. They should properly display that you don't have permission to assign the item to demo org. So yeah, though this is a very trivial thing that we can ignore, but most places the error messages are also so generic that it's very annoying. So I think Oracle has a lot of work to do when it comes to error messages especially. Okay, so now I'm going to open the same. So basically, because I've assigned this item to two of the orgs, I'm going to open this item in one of the orgs so that I can add a structure to it. So
do we have in EBS you have got attribute control, which is at master level or org level? You have a feature that one given attribute can be set only at master level, or it can be changed at the org level. Do we have such a feature here?
Yes, we have the same feature here, and that can be governed. Yeah, exactly the same.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, so you don't need to go through that. That's okay.
Yeah. It just shows that list navigation. Yeah.
That is governed in your templates. So once you, and all that I'm not planning to cover it here because I'm just focusing on manufacturing. Otherwise I will miss out on my manufacturing setups. But when you create your item templates, you can define over there that every field, whether you want it to be at master controlled or child or controlled. Okay. So this is the standard item that I have, the finished good that I have defined, and I'm just going to quickly associate it to the two orgs, and then in one of the orgs we will create the structure.
Actually, Deepti, if you don't mind, items and structures are very for basics blocks to the manufacturing. We may have to little bit cover. This is a foundation actually.
Yeah, that's the reason I'm covering the whole item and the structure creation and how you can use it in your manufacturing.
Yeah.
So Deepti, there is no bills of material module here.
So what we are going to do now is exactly the bill of material. It's just called as structures here in the cloud, but it's exactly the same as the bill of material. And then your routing is the work definitions that we are going to create later in the day-to-day.
Oh, okay. So there is no, they eliminated the bills of material, right? Maintenance.
I won't say eliminated. It's just that because the tab is called structures, commonly it's called, people address it as item structure, but it's nothing but the bill of material.
Yeah, and, just a name has changed.
Yeah, if you call it the bill of material, I'm sure nobody is going to be confused because everybody understands. And most of the consultants have come from the EBS background. So it's exactly the bill of material itself.
I think his question is in R12 there is a module called bill of material. So there is nothing called bill of material module. It is linked here, right? In product data management.
Okay. Okay. So there isn't a separate module. We just define the structure within the item here, and if the item does not have a structure, you can just leave this blank. Like if it is a standard component, we just leave this area of structures blank. I'm going to show that also because like the standard one, I've created like a component, so I'm going to leave the structure blank. But this finished code is like our finished code which has 2 components within it.
Got it.
Okay, so let me just close all the tabs so that you're clear. So once you create your items, we just come and search the item.
Actually, in one area you have not little bit addressed. I think if you have details, that will be helpful. Is when we started creation of item, there is something called status and life cycle. Can you just cover a little bit about that?
Status and life cycle is just like when you want your item to get into a complete life cycle. When you do a PIM implementation where a product you track at every stage, and it's in like sometimes it stays in a design phase. There's a flow called idea to commercialization, and that's a pure PIM implementation where the product first is conceptualized, and when it's conceptualized, it's in a very immature.
Actually, I'm a PLM and PIM consultant, okay? But what I'm talking about is if PIM is not implemented, standard EBS, what are the default life cycle you get and what is the default status you get? That's what, and what are the different statuses of the item? You need to cover that a little bit. That life cycle.
Life cycle is not important to us. Life cycle of a product is used only when you want to do the life cycle creation of items in a PIM implementation. But the life cycle is...
If I am not, so let us forget about PLM or PIM. So without that, it will be blank, that field will be blank.
So somebody in this template or in this instance has marked it as mandatory, otherwise it's not a mandatory field. And whatever value you choose there is not going to impact anywhere right now. So it's not going to impact it at all.
And what status this item is getting created?
We are creating it in an active status so that we can use it. But that is...
People typically don't want that, am I right? Until everybody populates their values and everything is right, and somebody reviews it and change it to. If I wanted to put it in inactive status, all the item, then I want to update the status to active.
No, I think you have the approved column there. Deepti, does that work that way? If it's not approved, it's not usable.
Correct. So all that's the reason I didn't get into those details. Is that it comes under the product life cycle when you want to do an innovation. Like here you have an innovation management when you do the whole implementation. But from our standpoint, for manufacturing, if you are doing a manufacturing implementation, those fields has got no importance. If you're doing a manufacturing implementation where you have your components and you're just looking to build them together, assemble them together, we are not using them. But if you're getting into an implementation where they are even deciding to
Can you open that? Actually, can you open an item, existing item, and see what is the stat? How to control the status? Actually, I totally understand you don't need to get into PLM or PIM. All that you need to understand is, without PIM and PLM, what typically people do is two ways of item creation. One is either straight away define in active, that's one way. Another way some people want is put it in inactive, make sure somebody reviews it, then puts it there. So
yes, you have that implementation also, Rao. That's the reason, that's what I'm saying. We have that implementation, but we are not focusing here on that because we'll just be, focusing on item creation by the end of today then. So these are the two status. We can have your own custom status defined. This is not going to impact in manufacturing in any way. And there is a whole life cycle I can walk you through this, where you can have your item, like you said.
I think only what I differ a little bit is you need to have different statuses. For example, if your work order got suspended, then you need to put the item assembly into a different kind of a status. So we need to have some kind of a statuses definition we need to cover with respect to this.
So what you're saying, if the work order is suspended because of some item, you want to mark the item as inactive? I didn't get your question.
Not inactive. It could be, like, for example, it could be MRB status. So what that means is something went wrong with that. Until somebody reviews from the MRB department, you cannot use that assembly or a particular item, or something got damaged. The item status could be damaged. You got a PO supply item and you didn't receive it in right condition, but you got it in inventory. Or during your inventory movement, some truck has hit something and you want to put those components under.
But that is for a specific quantity, Rao. It's not for the entire item.
It's for the quantity. So, and that we'll cover during our manufacturing execution and work order creation. We're going to see all of that.
Right? Okay.
Yes. And this, like whatever you are saying about item status and all, we can take up a whole day on this. I can definitely cover this, but that is not our focus for the manufacturing, and it is no way going to impact in our manufacturing session.
But these fields are grayed out, approval status and life cycle. They are not available to edit.
No. So this is not enabled in this instance right now. In fact, it was enabled before I started preparing for this session, but to avoid delays and when you guys are practicing, to avoid all that, I removed it because we just want to create items and then use them in our manufacturing. Otherwise, they get into an item request flow and then somebody has to...
Oh, so every field you can select like that and make it display only? Any field you can do that?
So it's not display only. Okay, let me just quickly walk you once again to the create thing. So the item is directly created in the approved status. That is all I did. Like you can say I called it as auto approved. I just did it auto approved so that your practice and my session goes smooth. Otherwise, it gets into some other screen and then you go and do multiple processing. I may have to log out, log in, and another user push forward that request. So you get it, right? So just to...
Okay, that's fine. We don't have to go into that.
We got it, yeah. But no. Actually, here one point we need to cover is two ways of implementing items. One is without PIM or PLM. One is straight away defining it in active and approved status. Second one is inactive. Then again put it in active and approve it. I mean, is it possible that way or no?
I didn't get it. Can you repeat?
One way is straight away defining all items in active and approved status. Am I right? And another way is put it in inactive, let somebody else review it, then put it into active and approved status.
Yes, we can do that. So it gets...
What are the setups for that? Yeah.
We are not going to cover that in this session, Rao. Otherwise, I'll not be able to manage all the manufacturing sessions in this day. So that is all, like I said. So even from a training or an implementation point of view, that comes like a PIM implementation. So even most companies in a project, you deploy, say, a planning expert, you deploy an order management expert, you deploy a manufacturing expert. You know, it again depends on all the dollar value of your project, and you define a product manager or product hub expert. So this typically comes in our product hub implementation product model, or you know, even in the training wise, we model it over there. So in this training for manufacturing, I had no plans to cover that. But if we think we have time and we have the interest, I really don't mind taking up sessions on that. But we need to have the time for it.
Okay.
Okay. So all I'm focusing to be like my entire course is going to focus on the things that you need for manufacturing. And like you said, the item can be created in multiple ways. It can have multiple levels of approvals. And that is not my focus. My focus is if the item is created in an approved state, how do I use it in manufacturing?
No, I'm only talking about an implementation in a non-PIM, non-PLM mode. Correct. Yeah. Okay.
Well, yeah, I didn't get the non-PIM mode. Sure, no problem. And like I said, if we have time towards the end, we can take up any topic and we can keep discussing about it.
Okay.
Okay.
No, go ahead. Yeah.
So right now what I'm doing is I'm using this FG item. What I've did is in the manage items, when you just go ahead in the right side and click on manage items, this is the search. Again, the top area is the search region. Select something and search. It'll give you the search results bottom. I see somebody else has created this FG1, but anyways, my focus is on my item. And on the right side here, you have the organization also. So in the test org for FG, like if you see this FG is like a hyperlink, I'm going to click on this hyperlink to open the FG item in the test org. So when you also do this, just focus that you are in the right organization in which you are creating your structure. Okay. So we go to specifications. You see, like I think in this template they have kept all these as controlled at master org. So when we are right now in the child org, you see all these fields as grayed out. Okay, that is how you know whether a particular attribute is in master org controlled or child org controlled from your template, because we are right now in the child org. And now, like I said, our now focus is to create a structure. Structure is nothing but your bill of material. So come to the structures tab. The structure names also I want to create, just hit on this plus. Don't take up that common and all. That is all when you want to share an item structure and all. So here you first give a structure name, and primary is the default name provided by Oracle. This is used in planning. This is used in manufacturing. So when you create your work definition, the work definition looks at the primary bill of material or the primary structure for your item. Similarly, when planning for all your other fulfillment reasons looks at the item, it looks at the primary structure. And after you define your primary, you can have alternate structures too. So all I did is click on plus. In the new item structure, I click now apply and add details. So it means I have just told the system that for the FG item in the test org, I want to create a primary structure. That is all I have told the system now. Okay, so always pay attention to the page name. So we are right now in edit item structure page for the FG item, and it is a primary structure. Okay, and here is your FG item appearing. So I want to add components inside this FG item. So just select this FG line. It should just be highlighted, the little blue line. And then again this button, select and add, because I'm adding components which are already defined in the system. So either you can click from actions, select and add, or you have a shortcut outside. Okay, I now realize I didn't assign my components to the test org. I'll have to quickly do that. So basically, like I said, I created 7 items before because I just wanted to work on structure creation during the demo. But yeah, I think I was rushing up and I missed assigning these to the org. So same like what we did, we come to associations and click plus. So let me just add one item. So I want to assign it to the test org and to the MFG org. So I'm assigning the standard component 01 and hit on save. I'm going to quickly do that for another component too, so that I can have a finished code of 2 components.
If in real-time scenario, these structures will be imported from the existing system, right?
Right.
So you will also cover that, like how to do that.
No, I'm not going to cover importing items and all. However, I'm going to cover importing the routing. How can you bulk import routing from Excel or from the sheets where you do the bulk imports? So like I said, my focus is all on manufacturing, and that's how we also do these sessions, that our focus is all on whatever the setups is needed for manufacturing. And these are like the basic elements on how we create. And details of these elements is covered in these individual sessions normally.
Okay.
So now that I have my components in the org that I want, also just you could notice that, everything that I'm searching is opening up as a new tab here. So if you just like to not keep closing out and you can just move over the tabs. That is again typical of all Fusion components, all the modules. In most of the modules, it's just keep opening tabs beside the other. So I was in this finished code.
Are we able to open multiple instances of the same application?
The same item? No, you cannot. The same item?
No, not same item. Can we open multiple instances of the entire application?
Oh yes, you can. I typically do that.
Log in into 2 different pages. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Log in twice.
So very commonly I do that because I hate to jump out of this page. So while doing this page, if I have to access a setup page, I keep a new tab, and I'm normally in FSM in that tab.
You're logged in separately on each of them. You're logged in separately, right? Each one.
Yeah. And from the cache it takes, I save my password.
So you don't have to enter password again for a new page? Okay.
Yeah, so I open the same tab, and when you're opening tabs, it just picks from my cache and my saved passwords. And very commonly I'll have security console open in one tab, my primary page in one, and the setup page in one. That's just me. Yeah, and you can also log in and sometimes when we have to do multiple user logins, like if you're doing an approval flow testing, I use different browsers. So in one browser, I'll be logged in with one user, in the other browser with
another. Then in that case, there's a different browser if the logins are different. Okay.
Yeah, or the incognito mode and the private mode. Again, that's just me, but I see people always closing out. I hate to close out things that are open.
Right.
So, okay, here, now let's add components to this. We select this top model, click on plus, and search for the component that you want to add. So I've used my components beginning with the word std, that's standard, standard 1 and standard 2. So I'm going to assign both. So here you can also hit on control and select both.
Oh, you can do that, multi-select? Okay.
Oh yes, yes.
Is it available everywhere, multi-select everywhere, or only in some places?
No, it's available everywhere.
Okay.
But again, like I said, so Oracle product is not very mature. If some place might be that you'll not see it work, that's because, even within Oracle, there are different product groups And yeah, that's a common complaint of customers that each group doesn't talk to the other group.
Right.
If you add multiple things, what is the sequence it follows?
Let's see, I'll show you. So here I can choose to click apply, where it will just save the application, or apply and edit, where I want to edit some things of the component. So I'm going to choose edit and add, where it will give me an edit window. So here it's the edit, and here is the sequence. Okay, you can change the sequence here. You can change what quantity. I want to put this quantity as, okay, I'll leave it as 1. I'm going to change it to 3 later. That's another feature. And these all fields are exactly the same like EBS. And if you want to add some order management details, you just have to go to the view. So because everything they couldn't fit in here, they just put this as collapsed views. So whether you want the ATP check for this component, and whether you wanted to show in sales order, whether it's an optional item or not. Okay, I wanted to change it to optional, yes. I don't know why the grayed out. I was trying to change this to optional, yes, because I do want it to be optional. Okay, actually it's a standard item, sorry. In the standard item, I will leave it as fixed, but when we create the ATO model, we'll see that. So I just added, and now if you see, you have a collapsible arrow-like button here. So if you click on this, it'll expand the structure of your item, your finished good. Basically, it's the the bill of material. But also be aware that we have not saved this yet. You can just put it here, view all the other details, whatever you like, and hit on done. Done is just saving out of this page and save it to the item.
Done doesn't save it. You have to do a save also.
Yeah, I think sometimes it never used to behave. I don't know what it does now. Like I said, there are a lot of enhancements. So, but earlier there have been cases where I've seen the item never used to save, but that was in very early release. And I'm guessing now it's saving. I'm not sure though. I haven't tried it in the latest one. It's just by habit.
Yeah.
I click on done and click on save. So this is what we have created, a structure for a finished good, which is like a standard.
What is the freeze button there?
Where was it? I didn't notice.
Freeze.
Yeah.
Where are you seeing the freeze?
Next to detach. Okay. Next to detach, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Top line.
It was enabled in the earlier form actually, yeah.
Okay. No, let's get to this page. We'll get to this page again when we are creating the structure for an ATO model, and then we'll see. I guess it's just to freeze the view. These are all like view related things.
What I mean by freeze the view?
No, like I said, I haven't played around with this button. We'll see this button once we get into the when it's enabled.
In the view, you can add columns. Now, going through the view, you can increase the columns like a folder kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
So this maybe is related to folder. I don't know. It's maybe, I'm guessing.
I suspect the same. That is just to freeze the view. Like right now, if you saw, the order management parameters were not visible. I went and enabled it. So I think I can freeze the view so that my user, I am guessing it's again at a user level. My user always sees the view. Again, I'm guessing that, but yeah, let's explore that together. Okay, so this was how we created the structure for a standard item. Now we will see how to create the structure for a ATO model, wherein we will add an optional class and optional items under the optional class. I can also show you in this process that how do you add a mandatory component also. So again, we are in our manage items and search for our ATO model. I'm opening the ATO model in the test org, and we are going to be covering the structures.
See freeze here.
What did it do?
Mhm. Go to the view and see. Go to view and see if you can add columns.
You know what? Trees and detach. Detach means it is enabling you to
So
do the format of the thing. I think freeze is closing it.
No, freeze is not closing it. Detach itself closes. Like one detach opens and hitting on the same detach closes it back. This
What do you
detach I've
detach?
used, so I know. When you like, let's see, when we create the structure, you'll have a big view, right? So just to expand the view, the table it pops it out. So I'll
Okay.
show you that. It'll make more sense in
In
the
a
next
separate
page.
window of its own. Mhm.
Correct. So you will have a better view and it's more clear. I'll show you in the next page. It'll be make more sense.
You're
I'm just
basically
hitting on plus.
personalizing the view, am I right? Personalizing the view and freeze it or detach it.
Yeah, I guess that's what freeze is for. I haven't tried the freeze button.
When detach also, I think both are working together, I guess.
Detach is just to detach the view. I'll show you the detach and we'll explore the freeze together.
Okay.
So again, just like how I did in the finished code, I'm selecting the structure name as primary, and we click. If you have any attachments, you can attach here. Remember, like you had asked that earlier. The earlier attachment is for the item. This is the attachment to the item structure or to your BOM. Now we will click apply and add. So here, this is the ATO model. Freeze is disabled here. Okay, let me add more components and then we'll see. I'll show you what detach helps us with. So again, just click on the same thing. This time I'm first adding an optional class. So I've defined an optional class already. Oh, sorry, I again missed the association. Okay, that brings me to a good point. I can show you the optional class. I can show you how the model type is an optional class. I created these two optional classes, OC1 and OC2. So in the specification, if you see the structure item type is an optional class. So actually, yeah, actually this is the right way. That in the optional class, I first want to add components. So first let me go associate it to the two orgs that I'm normally doing. No, sorry guys, I wanted to do all this earlier. It looks like I just missed this org association completely.
No problem.
Thanks.
You are allowed to do the mistakes.
Thank you. That's very nice. Okay. So typically we go to manage items and search for our item in another org. But here you can also, because this is a hyperlink, you can just click here. So I'll have this OC1 opened in the test org. So wherever you see the hyperlinks, you can just click and jump on here and there. So in the optional class, I'm first adding my components. It's adding in the same way. The structure, primary, click and add details. So under this optional class, I want to add two items, two components. So my components, I've just followed a naming convention as STD so that it doesn't confuse you. So STD1 and STD2. Edit and add. And here we can just go around and see the fields. And again, I'm interested in component order management because I want it to be optional. So here it's enabled because it's within the model. And what I'm saying is these two components within this optional classes is optional. It's not mandatory to have both these components selected. And typically, yeah, it's minimum and maximum quantity. I can just give maximum as 10 or whatever value you want. So this is used when you are entering this item in the sales order. So when you enter this item in a sales order, you can choose up to 10 quantity of this component. That is what it means. Okay, but however, from a manufacturing perspective, this is not really important because in manufacturing, everything will come from the work definition. Okay, and I say okay, and I'm just saving this. Now this optional class, I can put it under my ATO model. So let me quickly do the same for my other optional class. And I'm going to close some tabs. I have so many tabs open. To close on the tab, you have to first make that tab active and then hit on the cross. Like I cannot just hit on the cross here. The system will not allow me to close the tab. So I had actually thought we would take a break in between before we break for our the big break, but looks like again we are having a packed session. So let's finish this concept, and then if we want to take our hour-long break, we can take, or however the group is comfortable, because we are just about to complete this topic.
Yeah, I'm fine whenever.
Okay. I thought we could take a short break before we take our long break. It's just that we are, it's going like a good session, very interactive, and we missed our time to take the break.
Yeah, it's okay. We don't need it now.
That's great. No, I don't want the master org. I'm going to open in the test org, and I also quickly want to associate the other two components, that's standard 3 and 4, to the two organizations that I have. So during your practice, feel free to use the examples that I am creating here. Feel free to just go over and look around, or even using this item if you want to do a transaction, if something in your thing is not working. So you can even just use these items.
You are doing everything in test org, right?
Yeah, I'm primarily using the test org.
Okay.
Though I
list of items what you gave. Can you ping us all the list of items what you did here?
Okay, I've put an activity guide, though I didn't describe the items there. I'll try to just add it again to the activity guide. So I think, like I said, the training team was already about to share the activity guides with you. In any case, I will add this detail and we'll share a fresh copy if they have already shared with you. Okay, so I am good. Now, like how in the optional class 1, I've associated two items. Similarly, in the optional class 2, I would associate further 2. And then both the optional classes, we will put it to our, in this optional class, I'll just associate one item. So
you get the navigation for all this creation of bombs and all, am I right? In your
yeah, I've given it in brief, like click on structure or click on item. I've given these details. It should help you.
Yeah. Because the way you're doing, we may forget. Navigation.
Oh yes, I totally get it. It's very easy to follow on the screen. But yeah, when we do it ourselves, we're bound to get more questions, and it's absolutely fine to have more questions.
Once we do 2-3 times, we should be good here.
Yes, and in fact, I think it's good that you guys are getting a week or 2 weeks in between before we meet for our next session, and you can keep your questions handy and we'll discuss. Oh.
Okay. During the 2 weeks, if we got any questions, is there any email we can send it to?
We'll have to ask the training team because I'm not going to be available. and I'll have no way to even check my emails. So
Most likely those things will be navigation questions.
true. I'm not sure. So especially this vacation that I'm taking, I won't even have access to the system and anything. So I will just not be available. The earlier break that I was on, I could still talk to you guys, and we had that introduction meeting. So this is one screen. So suppose you have already added your component, but I missed making it optional. You come to view, and again the same, the component order management that we were selecting in the little pop-up. I'm just selecting the same window here, and then it is adding that view here. So I'm selecting this row, clicking on edit, and now I'm going to mark it as optional yes. So remember how I did it in the edit over there? Now I'm marking it here. Like if you missed it there, you can come here, and in the view you can add it, and it says show in sales order. Somewhere there was all these sales order buttons, but these are all exact lift and shift from the EBS.
So you're doing it in structure, am I right? This changes.
Yeah. So now I've just added a component.
Changing to the instance, not to the original thing. Yeah.
It is changing. Oh God, I added it to the master org. Anyways, yeah, but this is changing to the organization, like the item structure in that organization.
Correct. What is that button called? You're clicking on it.
Which one?
The square like plus.
So that's called select and add.
Select and add.
Yeah. So this whole Oracle Cloud development is done on a technology called ADF, Application Development Framework, and each of these are a different button. Like you can just hover over it and it'll tell you. So if it's a plus, it's like a create or add, but if it's like a page and a plus, it's called select and add.
Okay.
Just the view is different, the symbol is different. So in OC2, I'm just adding one of the components. Oh, I again hit on apply. So view, component order management, here you come and mark it as optional. Otherwise it just by default is taking it as a mandatory component. And this field is, like I said, it's only used in order management. It's not used typically, it's not really important in manufacturing. Okay, so let's come back to our ATO model in the test org. So what I'm going to do to this ATO model now is, in the structures, I will add the two optional classes that I have. Because I will add the optional class and the optional class contains the optional items, it will become a part of this thing. Let's see that. And I will add one mandatory component. Okay. So again, do a plus, the select and add, and here I'm adding the two optional classes.
So you are showing us configurable BOM. Are you going to create a standard BOM for our exercises or no?
This is like an ATO model which we will manufacture.
Okay.
How are you going to create a star item?
No, the star item processes comes from order management. So when
yes,
you order
we will need a configured item to process and with, right, in manufacturing.
We can process ATO models also, and in the back to back, where the customer is making selections of the star item, that's where the star item gets manufactured. But we are not going to do that. We are just going to have this ATO manufactured, where in the ATO you are processing and creating work orders.
No, but where did we choose the options in?
In our work orders, okay, let's go ahead and I'll show you what we
Okay, we'll see that time, that's fine.
Yeah, but that's mainly for tomorrow. Today we are doing all the setups, and tomorrow we will do the work orders and the execution part.
Okay.
So today we are going to be creating other manufacturing setups and keep everything ready, wherein you're just ready to take in work orders. Okay. So, okay, the two optional classes I've selected. I'm doing an edit and add. And let's see what the component order management is. So for these optional classes also, I want to mark them as each of it is optional. There's no mandate for us to select any item